Hypnosis. Boom bam. Oh, hello everyone, and welcome back to Ethel's Discussion. Okay, we are today. The guest is the same as last time. It's Chaos Sinfora. Hello.
Hi everyone. I'm good. I'm glad to be here again.
Yeah. Okay, so the topic for today is confidence
Conf-
is fake it till you make it.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So let's get
so
into it. What is your
okay.
point in this?
Okay. So I think we should just explain what confidence is first and why it's fake it until you make it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, confidence, in my opinion, is something that the feeling of instead of believing in yourself, believing that you can do something. It's not
Oh.
about thinking you can succeed at something. It's more of the fact that you are willing to do something instead of actually doing it. And yeah,
Mm. So
what do you think, Ethel?
isn't it?
Yeah,
Why is that not believe in yourself? Isn't it just you believing in yourself that you can do
yeah,
it?
yeah. It's just the ability to be able to do something instead of the ability to know that you can succeed. I think that's confidence. So yeah,
Ah.
for
Mm-hmm.
example, you need confidence to be able to sing in front of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you are confident, you are not necessarily good. You don't have to necessarily be good at it in order
Ah.
to sing in front of an audience, right? Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what confidence is. And something I've been saying about myself is that I have more confidence than actual skill. And that's also
Okay.
one of the reasons why if someone asks me to do something, I'll just do it, even though I'm not even sure I can succeed or not. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Eh,
Uh.
and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yeah.
that kind of confidence is something that you just have to practice. And how do you practice? Just do stuff.
Just do stuff.
Just
Just do it.
yeah, that
Basically.
exactly, yeah. Just do
Yes.
it.
Just do it.
Confidence. Yep. Just do it. And yeah, confidence is something that you fake it until you make it, because I think everyone starts being not very confident of yourselves, but as time goes and as you try more things, you will become
Mm-hmm.
more and more confident. You will believe in yourself more that you can do something, and not
Ah.
necessarily succeeding at it, just doing it.
Yes, just doing it.
Mm,
I
yeah.
also agree. Actually, I also have the the same view on that because just start doing it and then and eventually you'll be good at it, I guess. But you
Mm,
have to do it first because if you're not confident in the first place and you don't want to do it just because you're scared of being not good, then you'll never be good at it. Nobody's good at anything in the first place anyway.
yeah, it's true. Though I think this is kind of difficult to say, because I feel like the system of how the world works nowadays, it's like if you fail, you're just a failure, even though that's something that you really need in order to gain your skill, in order to gain your confidence, in order to
Mm.
be able to be good at something,
Mm.
which is kind of dumb, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. And I genuinely believe that people who can succeed are the ones who are willing to fail and willing to be embarrassed,
Yes.
willing to have people think that they suck at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if people never think that you suck at stuff, you will you will never even get to a point where people think you're good at that. So yeah,
Oh.
I
Mm.
think that's just how things work.
So you have to be bad at something first, then before you
Mm.
can be good at something.
Yeah, that's what I really believe in. And yeah,
Ah.
I feel like something people often say is that you have to be talented at something in order to be good at something, right? I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
something you hear a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't really agree with that, to be honest.
Mm.
Because the way I see it, uh, if you are talented, it's more like uh, imagine in a game where
Uh-huh.
you are level 1 until level 10. That's your beginning level.
Ah.
And if you're talented, maybe you start at level 5 immediately instead of most people at level 1. But the gap between level 1 and level 5 isn't even that big. Even 1 and 10 isn't even that big. But the thing is, to someone who is level 1, an enemy who is level 10 or level 100 will still kill you in one hit.
Yes.
And yeah, that's why when you know nothing about a skill, you will think that, oh, that guy is so talented, that guy is so strong, even though he's just 9 levels above you instead of 99 levels. Yeah, it just seems the same because
Okay.
because from your perspective, everyone else is just better than you. Yeah, and that's why I believe that you shouldn't be afraid to try to level up, even though you're facing against someone who is level 10, even though you are level 1. Yeah, just keep doing it. That's how you fake it until you make it.
So basically, talent is like just a jump start for things. Then
Yeah.
and then they stay. Even though the people still have to put in the same amount of effort to get, maybe not same amount, but they still need to put effort to get
Mm,
somewhere. And it's not
yeah.
possible for those who are not talented in certain field to still get there eventually.
Yeah.
Just like this reminds me of what Bob Ross said. He said talent is something that you put your time into learning.
Mm,
So yeah.
yeah. I think that's also the case with you, right? Because I know that you are also capable of a lot of things, and that is
uh
definitely not something that you are just born with. I'm pretty sure you work
yeah.
so hard on that, and that's something that quite impressive in itself, I think.
Thank you.
Mm.
Well,
Anyway,
in my case, I would say that I guess I had like I learned for some for example, like I learned skill A, and then
hmm?
skill A just happened to let to give me the basic to understand skill B, and then when I
Ah,
start to learn skill B, I already know the basics, so basically I got a little bit of experience in skill B, things like that.
I think that's also how it is.
Hmm.
I think it's more like, let's just say, this is an RPG where you have 10 classes.
Uh-huh.
And if your first class is level 80, for example, your other class will have maybe a 10% EXP bonus to get to level 60, for example.
Ah,
I think that's how it works with skills. Usually, you don't just learn a skill and it has no other application on learning other skills.
yes.
I feel like that's one of them.
They can link.
For mm, true.
Okay. Okay, so
For
let's move on to the you want to say something?
oh, okay, no, that's fine.
Okay.
I think yeah. Anyway, yeah, we talk about confidence, but we haven't really talked about something else that I feel like usually works together with confidence, and people
Mm-hmm.
kind of use it as the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what is self-esteem.
Oh.
So yeah, I feel like they are two different things. Because if it's self-esteem, I feel like that is something that you really know you are able to do something, but it doesn't mean that you are confident enough to do it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I feel like self-esteem. So the difference is, if I would summarize it, self-esteem is something that, if you believe that you are capable of doing well in a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence, however, is whether you're capable uh, of starting in the first place.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I get it. I get it. So self-esteem basically you already know you can do this. You know how to do this and all that. That is self-esteem. And
yeah,
when confidence is the force to make that you have to start in the first place. I
true.
see. Mm.
Because I feel like I've seen a lot of people who are super insecure, but at the
Uh-huh.
same time they are quite confident. So they know that they are not capable of doing stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
they are capable of starting. And I feel like the capability of starting is much more important than knowing that you're good at something.
Ah. Hmm.
So yeah,
But doesn't being confident just means that you have You have very good skill in starting something, because maybe
Um,
starting something is a skill itself. So that's
mm,
a self-esteem as well, then.
that is actually one way to put it. Yeah.
Hmm.
I actually didn't think of it that way, but that makes sense actually. So yeah, I agree with
So
that.
because you have high self-esteem of skill of this skill A that you're doing, then you have confidence in doing this skill A as well.
Yeah, true.
Hmm.
And it
Okay.
feels like sometimes it's like if you're good at something,
Uh-huh.
generally you would be more confident in showing it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
True, true,
and
true.
yeah, I generally believe that, but I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? Because I've seen people who know that they are good at something,
Uh-huh.
but they are not really confident to show the skill itself.
Ah.
And sometimes it's the other way around. They're confident of showing a skill even though they don't really know if they're good at it or not.
Ah, okay, okay, get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so there
I
are people who are good but not confident, like, oh no, what if
mm,
I'm not good enough? Like that, right?
yeah, yeah, you're good, just not good enough. I think that's how it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's get to the next point here. Getting the courage to
Okay.
confront people to make sure something is hate or criticism.
Yeah. So I feel like it's something that is often see, especially if you're a public figure, right?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you're not even sure if someone is hating on you or just criticizing you.
Mm.
And if you're confident enough that you can confront them, uh, like for example, maybe you're a singer and someone says your voice sucks,
Ah.
and then and then you can just ask them, okay, why does my voice suck? Is it because I didn't reach a certain range, or does this not fit me or something, or is it just because they want to hate you? They want to
Ah.
send hate on you. And
Ah.
I think it's a good idea to just try to confront them a little bit, see if
Oh.
they mean okay, I know I said that your voice sucks, but this is what I actually mean. Because sometimes
Mm.
people cannot express themselves quite well enough
Ah, that's a
that
good
they,
idea. Mm,
yeah,
just
yeah,
confront
that's,
them. Your voice
yeah,
suck.
that,
Oh yeah? Then why?
yeah,
And if that person is just wanted to hate, like, and
yeah,
I would expect them to not know what to answer because they didn't really have anything to say.
yeah, that is true. That's the
That's
same with, like, I noticed a lot of something similar on Steam, right? Especially
uh,
when you are an indie developer. Sometimes some people will just say, "Don't buy this game," and then the developer will just ask why, and they don't have any answer. However, there are also times where "Don't buy this game," and the person actually answers why it's not good, and
ah
the developer also thinks, "Okay, that seems reasonable. That's why it's not good enough. I think I'll improve it on the next patch and stuff." So yeah,
ah
I've seen that
that's
before.
nice, that's nice.
Uh, yeah, I forgot the game honestly, but it was like an indie horror game where
Uh-huh.
the developer actually asked why his game sucks, and seeing through the thread, the one
Mm-hmm.
who says it sucks actually gives quite pretty good points, and even the
Mm.
developers eventually agree. He
Mm.
changed the game a little bit, and they updated it, and it became much better. So yeah,
Ah, nice, nice. That is nice to
yeah,
hear. Mm.
it is. Yeah, it doesn't start very well. Like it starts kind of toxic, but eventually it becomes something that is
Yeah, that's
very,
good to
very
see. Mm.
wholesome in a sense.
Yeah, also
Mm.
just confront them. And I also
Mm.
like how that can also be used to to put like blatant haters in the spot. Like,
Yeah,
why? And then
yeah, true.
yeah, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, there's also a fun part of it, putting haters on the spot.
Mm. Maybe they actually expected to not be noticed at all or something, and or someone else just gonna fight them back, and instead the developer asks them why, and they have
Yeah,
nothing to say, and they're the one looking stupid here now.
yes, that is true. Speaking of hate comments, if you guys want to send hate comments to me, go ahead. I'm trying to make a tier list of hate comments.
At
based on
least.
how creative they yeah, based on how creative they are. But unfortunately, I still have zero hate comments so far.
You,
So yeah,
oh, you're not hateable enough. You're not hateable enough.
yeah. Even though I'm supposed to be like the final boss and stuff, somehow,
Imagine being a final boss and but everyone just love you.
yeah,
Ah,
I'm a failure of a final boss.
oh no.
Well,
Being a
that
bit.
that aside, I guess we should continue on this one.
Okay. Next one. You are not powerless to change yourself.
Yeah, and that is something I genuinely believe. Yeah, I think we have said that confidence is something you fake it until you make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, you actually have to be brave enough to fake it first. You have to be
Ah.
brave enough to actually try stuff, to
Mm.
grow yourself. See if you can do this, see if you can do that. See if you can just basically start something.
Mm.
That is how, yeah. And at the moment, if you feel like, okay, I cannot do anything, I'm not even brave enough to start something,
Mm-hmm.
my biggest advice is just start. Just start doing it.
Yeah, just started.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also agree with that.
And
But here's the thing though. It's kind of sometimes it's scary to start something when it involves other people, which is
yes.
I'm actually still struggling with, because just imagine this. Imagine if I so far from all these
Mhm.
years I can't even finish like a single proper game, even though I've been trying for years. But
Yeah.
if I try to like, but I've been working myself alone.
Mhm.
So I've been thinking, what if I get a team? Make a team instead of working myself. But if
Mhm.
that doesn't work, what am I gonna do about it? Like, I'm already involving other people in it.
Yeah, I think I also get that perspective, because I feel like this might be a bit of a controversial side point of view, but I think it's that if you're alive, you will inconvenience other people. It's not even a question of if you will or not, it's when you will inconvenience other people.
Ah.
And sometimes the sacrifice of others involuntarily is
Mm-hmm.
something that is required to grow you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is controversial, but hear me out first.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And I also believe that for someone to grow, they will have to make mistakes, and sometimes that mistake will be at the cost of other people.
Ah.
But yeah, but that's also the case with them, because they
Hmm.
want to improve to a point where they can no longer inconvenience other people that much. They will need to inconvenience people first. They have to make mistakes first.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, you will fail. That is just something that there's a question of when as well.
Ah.
You will fail, you will inconvenience other people. But if you have that mindset where I will inconvenience other people, but I do not want that to happen again, so I will try much better on my next time.
Ah.
Something.
Question
Uh,
is, will there be any
yeah.
next time though? Because if you fail, for example,
Mhm.
you make the project A with other people, these people, and it fails, and especially if it fails horribly, miserably, and these
Mhm.
people turn and that your relationship with these people end up being not good,
Mhm.
and then you wanted to start another project with, even if it another project that will involve people, your
Mhm.
reputation is already like tarnished, right?
Uh,
From the previous
yeah, yeah,
project. So how?
yeah.
Is
I
it?
think there's one. Yeah, there's one thing that is always scary. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. But yeah,
So
I'm
what?
going to kind of break character here for a bit, but
Huh?
I actually have tried to make like three businesses and they all failed, and
Oh no.
I also ended up pissing quite a few people along the way.
Okay.
So yeah, that is something that just happens.
Ah.
Yeah, it does. It does ruin your reputation, but at the same time, it's like maybe try not to mess up too much.
Not to mess it too much. But
Yeah.
isn't that that thinking is the
Mm,
one that makes someone scared in the first place then?
true. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not really.
How should we tackle this?
Yeah, that one is something that is also. To be completely honest, I don't have the perfect answer for it because
Mm-hmm.
it's always a case by case scenario.
Ah.
But usually, at least my mindset is that even if
Okay.
I ended up pissing people off, I will imagine think of it as more of, for example, let's just say I'm
Mm-hmm.
25 right now.
Ah.
Let's just say
Mm.
I'm not actually 25, but
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. What if I try to do this business thing for the next 2 3 years? If it fails, it fails.
Yeah.
It means that I will be 28 and I just have one failed business,
Ah.
and then I'll try another one, and let's say it takes 2 years.
Mm.
I will be 30 with two failed business.
Mm.
Uh, but the thing is, you live probably for 60 years, 70 years, more or less. I think that's the average human, right?
Uh-huh.
And yeah, just think of it that way. There is only one per 30. 2 years is only one per 30 of your life.
Ah.
You still have 29 more chances. If you're 30, yeah, maybe you have 15 more chances, basically. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, even if you fail, if your reputation is tarnished, there is always a way to find more people. There's always a way to find other things to do. There's always going to be, well, basically, there's going to always to be a path as long as you're willing to search for it. That's what I
Will
genuinely
there
believe.
though? Will there always though? Because honestly, I mean, if you're talking like normal mistake, like light
Mhm.
mistake, well, sure, of course, there will always be other people. But what if the
Mhm.
mistake is so hard, is so harsh that maybe you in the you start a business, right, and then the business
Mhm.
fails so hard, you get so deep in depth that you're gonna have to you can't even start over.
Yeah,
What
there is
happens then?
unfortunately something that is the worst case scenario. And personally speaking,
Mm-hmm.
I was never I never screwed up that badly to the point where, yeah, I cannot start over. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite unfortunate, sure, but yeah, I cannot really say much
Ah.
because I don't really have the experience of failing to the point where I'm just rock bottom. To be honest,
Okay. With that
that said,
risk, though, is it
yeah,
really true that confidence is just fake it till you make it because there are risks in front? Is
yeah,
it really okay to just do it?
I still think it's worth it to just do it because even if you fail eventually, that's just how it is. It is what it is.
Ah.
But the thing is, instead of looking at the risk, you should also look at the reward.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, if you
Oh.
wanna live, yeah, I guess this is more of philosophy. But if you wanna live, you have to risk something eventually.
Ah.
Otherwise, you will just be mediocre forever. If
Mm.
you wanna be someone who's going to make an impact on this world, if you're gonna be someone who makes a change, if you're gonna be
Uh-huh.
someone who is recognized, if you wanna be that person,
Mm-hmm.
you will have to take a lot of risk and you will have to fail a lot. If you don't, you will just stay the same. And maybe
Mm.
that fits you. Maybe you're fine with that.
Oh.
I-
Dang.
yep.
Alright.
Maybe you're fine with that. And if
Uh-huh.
that's the case, then it is your choice. But at the same time, I generally do believe that just be confident, try something new. Don't be afraid of failing. And even if you fail, just find another way to do it. But
Okay.
the thing is,
Yeah.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this even though I know like a few, let's just say, successful pro players that doesn't isn't able to find any more work. So pro gamers,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
like people who compete professionally who cannot find any more work because
Uh-huh.
they put all their time into gaming and it doesn't have any transferable skills.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, at least for the most part, it doesn't have any transferable skills. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so that kind of failure definitely exists. and it's
Ah,
really up to you to adapt to it.
I know. Okay, okay, got
Yeah.
it. Mm.
There's actually one person that I know who
Huh?
he was born into a rich family, really
Mm-hmm.
rich. He's really successful. Well, I guess successful is not the right word. He was just born into a really good family.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one time where he lost everything.
Oh no.
His business was bankrupt. He lost everything. He had to live in a room where there's 8 people,
Uh-huh.
8 strangers. He had
Uh-huh.
to live in the same room as them because he had absolutely no money at all.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's actually
That sounds horrible.
pretty terrible.
Mm.
However,
Mm.
when he was around, I think it was around 50 years old,
Mm-hmm.
he slowly started getting back on track, and eventually he got to a point where he's more rich than he used to be. That's kind of
Oh.
insane. But so yeah, there are times that it's really there are times where you will hit rock bottom and you can still get back. So it's not. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I would genuinely say I would say it's very improbable. It's
Ah.
just not likely to happen, but it
Okay.
does happen.
That's happened.
And yeah, and it's really up to you to be able to get to the point where you are at rock bottom and you can raise up again or not.
Mm. Okay. Mm. I am
But yeah,
thinking
it's
from the
difficult.
point. Yeah, it is gonna be difficult.
Hmm.
What if we so we have this risk, right? For the
Yeah,
risk of hitting rock bottom. What if we
yeah.
just like um do things that to lower those risks first and before they try, setting up so basically like setting up some backup plan, the safety measures, contingency plans, or basically like maybe train so to reduce that risk from
Hmm.
happening in the first place. What if we do that?
That is actually the perfect way to do it. Yeah, I do think there's a good thing in just starting small, risking small things, and then slowly try to get more risk
Mm.
for more reward. I don't think that's a bad idea.
Ah.
Because even stock trading is kind of the same thing, right? You
Mm-hmm.
will always have to start small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, even quote unquote small is still hundreds and thousands. So yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
basically, yeah, you have to start small, and you will have to grow, uh, taking risks little by little. Sometimes you will lose, sometimes you will win. But
Mm.
eventually, you get to a point where you're just comfortable. Hopefully,
Okay. So
yeah,
basically, the best way to do this is not just blindly go do it, but
yeah,
make sure that you're safe first. Even if you fail, be careful while doing it like that. But you
yeah,
still have to start it. You still have to have the confidence to start it.
yeah.
Oh, what if
Generally,
though?
it- hmm?
If you so what if you reduce this risk as much as you can?
Hmm?
Will that in- actually increase your confidence to start something?
I personally speaking, yes, for me.
Hmm.
Like usually, my rule is that as long as I have enough money to live decently for the next 6 months, I can take the risk. Usually,
Ah.
that's my case. So yeah, save a lot of money, have a lot of savings to the point where even if you mess up big time,
Uh
you're
huh.
still somewhat safe.
Ah.
Yeah,
Okay. Got
yeah,
it.
you still have some safety net going on.
Ah. Safety net, right?
Yeah,
So basically, we have to be confident to start something.
yeah,
But if you're not confident enough, the way to find that confidence is to find some safety net,
yeah,
reduce the
true.
risk and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Because here, the thing is, there is a difference between taking a risk and taking a gamble. If you're
Oh.
just taking a gamble, you're just going to. This is a do or die situation. But if you're taking a risk, I might lose this or I might gain this kind of thing.
Ah.
So yeah,
Mm.
you need to take calculated risk. I guess that's what I'm
Calculated
trying to say.
risk. So you
And
have to calculate your risk, but are you good at math though?
Well, if you're not good at math, then it's a good idea to start. Yeah, because you're
Yep.
you're trying for the first time.
Right,
Grow
right.
your confidence.
Yeah, they just remind me of that of some meme that say, I calculated my risk, but boy am I bad at math.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before. Something like
uh,
that.
uh,
The thing is, you will start being better at math, but
yes.
hopefully you'll be better later on. Who knows?
Uh-huh.
We'll see.
Ah, okay, so the next one is how to use them to grow as a person. What is them?
Yeah. Okay. What them here is, I mean, confidence and self-esteem. Because
Mm.
yeah, we've
Okay.
talked about everything here, but eventually, we should get to a point where, uh, hang on, I forgot what I'm going to say. Sorry about
Mm-hmm.
this. Uh, okay. So basically, you are already able to be confident enough. You have the skills. So basically, you have peaked in confidence and self-esteem.
Yes.
Now, I think most people kind of already know this, but the better you are at something, the more you feel like you suck at it. Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. Or
Mm-hmm.
rather, it's like you know you're objectively good at something,
Mm-hmm.
but you also know that there are so many people that's better than you. There are so many things you can still learn about it.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many more things that you don't even know yet.
Ah.
So yeah.
And that makes you feel like you're not good at all.
Yeah. And I
Mm.
think I think that's the same thing with every kind of skill.
Mm-hmm.
Even you, if you're at the top, absolute top, and you are at the number one at that
Mm-hmm.
skill, sometimes you will still feel like there's still a lot of things to learn, and I don't think
Ah.
that's a bad thing because
Yes.
because the ability to have, I know that I'm good at this, but I'm not good enough,
Mm.
and that is the kind of mindset that will help you grow as a person, help you
Ah.
grow in the skill that you're trying to learn, help you just generally be a better overall a better person, I think.
Ah. Because if you're good at something, then you know about this thing. You know a lot of it. That you
Mhm.
know so much that you think, you know where which part of it that isn't good enough, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and and I can genuinely say this because fun fact,
Uh-huh.
there so in the world of speedrunning, I actually have one game where I'm number one.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Ooh.
and yeah, that's one of the reason I said that. And I can say that even though I'm number one, this run is absolutely not perfect. And
Ah.
if someone is just a bit luckier or work a bit harder than me, it would definitely be beaten easily. That's
Ah.
how much I know. And
Mm-hmm.
I've also been number one in Indonesia for a certain game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and even though I'm technically the best, I still know that I know nothing about this game. So yeah,
So yeah,
basically, yeah, even if
mm-hmm.
you're number one at something, you will understand that yes, everyone else is somewhat weaker than you to some extent, but at the same time, you know that things can still improve. You can still
Mm.
improve.
Because you know a lot about this thing, and
Yeah,
then because the knowledge, then now you can see the minus the
mm,
minus parts of what you're doing here, right?
yeah,
Where you can improve here and there. Meanwhile, those who are not as good as you, they think you are already perfect
yeah, and
because they don't know as much.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually kind of the fact that if you feel like the number one person is already perfect, it just shows that you don't actually have enough skills to understand that they are imperfect, and
Ooh.
that is actually mind blowing, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, the
So
thing is, the
basically
sorry,
we so that means basically when we see someone is perfect, that means
Hmm?
that person is not actually perfect. Oh.
Yeah, that person will still need something to work on. Like usually, even if someone is number one, generally they are not number one at every single aspect of the skill, and
Ah.
yeah, that's usually how it is.
It's more complex.
Uh, yeah, it is more complex than that.
Mm-hmm.
For example, let's just say I cannot think of an example that is quite generally understandable, but let's just say fighting games because
Uh-huh.
that's what I would say I'm decent at.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, I see that the number one person for a while, he was really good at defense, but
Mm-hmm.
his offense and his reaction wasn't as good as some other people who are in the top 10.
Oh.
So yeah, he can really win with his defense, but
Mm-hmm.
if the game suddenly turns into offense and offense, he will lose a bit more
Ah.
consistently. Like
Ah.
maybe if it's a defensive game, he will win 80% of the time, but if it's more aggressive, he will win, let's just say instead of 80%, it's 45% or something. Which is
Ah.
still a really high number, but at the same time it's not 80% like it
Mm-hmm.
is. So
So
yeah, that's
basically,
hmm,
different. His build is more defensive.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay. Okay.
that's the case, right? Sometimes uh yeah, people who are number one doesn't mean they're number one at everything basically. And
Ah.
yeah, if you're good enough at something, you will start to see the cracks in how they are, and you
Mm-hmm.
will even learn how to improve in a way that they cannot reach. So
Mm.
yeah, you even if you're not number one at this thing, you can be better in one aspect, and that still makes you a strong uh, player in this game.
Ah. Okay. Okay. Get it.
Yeah,
So you like it's not basically you can be better than this person that you think is better in another aspect even like that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. After
yeah,
all,
and
like
it's
I remember this quote that say that it doesn't matter how good you are at something, there will always be some Asian kid who can beat you.
I'm that Asian kid. Well, but
Okay then.
uh, yeah. Well, jokes aside, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
we shouldn't just give up only because someone is way better than us. It's
Uh-huh.
all about how you can uh, how you can make yourself, yeah, how you can improve it yourself is also important, I think,
Ah.
rather than aiming for being the best.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
it's just
so
yeah.
how about we don't how about if we don't see and don't look at other people at all? Just like don't compare yourself to other people. Just compare yourself with yourself. What if that?
There's actually a really a good thing. The ability to just how was it? Compare ourselves with ourselves, see how much we can improve,
Mm-hmm.
and there's actually not a bad mindset at all. Of course, there will eventually be a point where you have to compare yourself with other people because to be the best is
Uh-huh.
just you don't even in a very extreme scenario to be the best at something. You don't even have to be good at something.
Ah.
Yeah, you just have to be slightly better than the second best.
Ah.
So yeah,
It's like a
I think that's
beginning with the first. Right.
yeah. You should just focus on improving yourself as much as possible. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right. So, do you have anything else to say about this topic?
I think I'm good.
Okay then. Let's see if I have anything to say about confident. So the topic was what? Confident is fake it till make it. From what we so to conclude then, from what we've been discussing, um, you have to be confident to start something, to
Mhm,
be good at something.
mhm.
But and if you're not confident enough, you can actually it's better to calculate the risk and reduce them if possible. And even if you
Yeah.
already started, if you already even if you already start doing something, you will eventually like feel like there's something more that you can do, and or you're gonna see people who you think are better than you, but they're
Mhm.
like they also are not perfect, and then
Yes.
Then the next point is you don't actually really have to be good at something, because um if you're already decent or good at something, there will be people that aren't as good as you that think you're already perfect.
Yeah, there's also something that happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, being good or not at something in this world is really just about comparison. Are you
Mm.
better than someone or not?
Mm-hmm.
That is probably not the best way to say it, but yeah, that is how it is.
Why do we have to compare ourselves with other people anyway?
Yeah, I think personally, I think you should compare yourself with other people just to see how good you are or how bad you are, but you shouldn't be how is it? You
Hung up
shouldn't
about it?
yeah, you shouldn't be hung up about it. You
Ah.
shouldn't be too addicted to comparing yourself, because at the end of the day, self improvement is more important than actually being better than other people. At least that's
Yes.
my take on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I also agree on that. Alrighty then, if there is nothing else to say, then we gonna end the discussion for the night. Thank you, Chaos Sinfora. What should I say? What is I call you again? Sin. Oh yeah, right. I remember. I just
Yeah.
remember it.
Okay.
Oh my god. Thank you, Sin,
That's
for
fine.
joining the discussion. Yeah. Thank you. This is Ethel Chamomile. Do you have anything else to say, Sin? Like promote yourself or anything?
This is a just in case, but if you're under 18, do not follow me.
Okay.
Just saying.
Alrighty then. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See ya. See you in the next
See ya.
discussion. Bye bye.
Bye.